What's going on, guys? I'm Watch Argo, and today I'm going to replace the window regulator in the Volt. You can see it's all taped up right there. But first, I need a haircut. Here's the new regulator. Should be a fun project. Got the heat all done in the house, and of course we leave for the rally Thursday morning, so this has to be fixed because I like to leave it sitting at the airport. Okay, got the haircut, got some food. Let's get in this car. It is time to get the door panel off here. Apparently there's some screws right here. We gotta get that panel off, and we also have to get that out. And I think that's all the screws to get the door off. Let's get to work. Okay, I grabbed all of my panel popping tools to make this easy, and I also grabbed a dentist tool, a little hook, which should make it easy to get this off. So I'm just gonna kind of squeeze that back in there behind that. Give that a little pop. There's our third screw. And your handy 7mm will remove all of these bolts. I'm gonna use the impact to make my life easy. There's one. And here are the other two. That should be all the screws. Put them somewhere safe, you don't want to lose them. They're all the same length. Dropped one clip, didn't break it, so that's good. It looks like it might have been out before though. It's not in the best shape I've ever seen. And it looks like my tape holding the glass on is gonna pop. There is the door panel, that was pretty simple. For the door pull handle, it's this cable right here. It slots in here, and you just kind of lift up the little retention tab, pull back until it pulls the cable all the way out, and then you can come up and release it out of there very simply. Might be a pain to put back though. All of the door wiring is in this one connector, and you just pull it like that. Done deal. I need to give a big shout out to GM right now, because usually their door panels are garbage, and this one was really easy. Let's get the door handle bracket off. And now for this weather stripping we have to get out of here. Just kind of work your fingers around it and release the adhesive. You will want to put it all back, so be careful with it. Apparently, window regulator failures are very common in the Volt. There's tons of threads on it, and it looks like this one may have been apart once before. So, I bet it's common. And that was much better than the old GM days where they just used a sheet of plastic and you had to ruin it. Here's the regulator. Go ahead and pull the power cable off of that. It looks like you'll just push right there. Comes right off, super simple. It's that tab. Okay, you need a 10mm for all the other bolts. It's this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And then there's clamps that actually hold the window on. There's one right in that hole right there. That'll have to come out, I'm sure. That one pretty much held the whole regulator assembly. You saw it go pretty loose right there. You saw that? The window clamp and everything just fell down. Let's shove it back down for now. Okay, here you need to remove the clamp that's holding the motor wire from the old regulator. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my trim tool back there so I can get under it and pop it. helped out. Take your watch off so you don't ruin it. And that is how you get it out without cutting everything. Here's that nice new regulator. Let's get it out of the box. I have not even looked at it yet, but doesn't look like it should be too big of a deal to get on there. I do need to find the other clamp that's laying in the bottom of the door or something like that. Found it, all the way in the back. The last thing I needed was that piece of junk in there rattling. Okay, let's get this new one in here. I think we can just do a little maneuver like this. There's part one, the first slide rail. Of course, this door handle cable is very in my way, along with this one. The bolts are already installed in the top of the slides to drop into these slotted holes. Now I'll put all the factory bolts back in. And the last factory bolt goes in the motor, right there. Gonna go ahead and plug the motor back in. Good to go. All that's left is getting the window itself into the factory brackets. Okay, right there I went ahead and temporarily set the door panel there, picked up the window switches, and ran the motor up to about halfway so I can see the brackets. And go ahead and set the window in them before I get everything situated. Now I'm going to plug the door panel back in, run the glass all the way up, and then I'll tighten down the window brackets and the access holes. You probably shouldn't do this part with the impact, so I'm just gonna go ahead and turn my impact all the way down and do it anyway. Okay, not a single impact click, it's in screw driving mode. Okay, that should be good. I'm gonna plug the door panel back in, test the window, run it all the way up and down a couple times, make sure everything's good. Awesome. I even tested auto up and down. It worked perfectly. Time to put the door panel back on. And of course, to put the door panel back on, we have to start with the E-flex, and we're gonna thread the door pull cable through first, and then the wiring, and reseal all of the adhesive. Okay, the E-flex is back on. Now for the door handle bracket. That's that little L bracket that goes right there with the two 7mm bolts. Oh yeah, really the only tools you need for this job is something to pull trim panels off, maybe a trim tool, and a 7mm and a 10mm socket. Okay, now that the L bracket's on, bolted down, the door pull cable's in, and the wiring's ready to go, it's time to slap the door panel back on. Make sure you install the connector for all the electrical first. And then for the door pull, it'll be pretty tricky compared to the rest of this. Slide the ball down into the socket. You're gonna pull like this. I don't know how well you can see it, but what you do. You thread the round part of this connector into the round part of the other part, and then slide this in until it clicks. The next part of getting the door panel on is putting the lock stem into the hole on top of the door panel. So you do want to lift up this end a little bit higher, thread it in there, and then start getting everything seated. The push fasteners run around the edges. They're basically right there all the way through, and there's some right over here as well. Pop those in with your fist like that. Make sure they're seated really well. You'll be able to tell when there's no gap in the panel and the sheet metal there. Now to get these bolts back in, I'm going to start them all by hand because I don't like cross-threading things, and I am going to run them down with the impact because impact. Okay, this trim piece goes back in, drops in like that. It just sits there, doesn't snap in or anything, no big deal. And this trim piece goes in just like that. Bottom goes in first where these little tabs are, and the top snaps in. Now I can throw away all this tape, test out the window. Here you go. Now I just need to clean the glass where I got 5,000 handprints on it from taping it together over and over and over and over this week. I can't tell you how many times I had to retape it just to keep it from falling down. As car guys, I know we all love invisible glass or the spray away from Walmart, but this stuff is also the ticket because it's Rain-X and glass cleaner at once, so it saves you the Rain-X step. There's definitely tape residue all over the inside because I kept taping it up in there. I'm gonna have to take that off with alcohol or something else. That was by far the best experience I've ever had replacing a window regulator or working on a window regulator or anything like that. I didn't have to adjust the guides or anything, it just works. Thank you, GM, for nailing that. And that is it for today, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. The update on my HVAC, it's finished. I mean, there's still cardboard ductwork in there, but we'll get to that another day. But hey, the heat works, the AC works great, everything is rocking and rolling. This thing heats the house probably 4 times faster than the old heater, and the old heater was already super awesome and efficient. I'm excited about this.